Hey everybody, this is Deb with Truthification Chronicles, and I was kind of hoping and, putting this off and just expecting this number to move, and it just hasn't. So I'm six people away from 50,000. I am so close. I was really hoping that I would hit 50,000 tonight and I could share it with you, even though I can't do live streams. Really, folks, I've tried. I've been doing some practice ones, and without putting them out public. And oh, I got to tell you, the connection just isn't going to work. So I'm going to have to do something else and figure something else out if I ever want to do a live one. But anyway, this is the best I could do. And I really was hoping, because this thing is like a live count and it updates every few seconds, or it says every second. But yeah, it's been sitting here on this number for a very long time now. So I am just going to give up and go to bed. But before I do that, I do have some things to share with you. And if you've been following my numbers, I mean, this has almost become laughable. And really, that's kind of how I look at it now, because if I don't laugh, you got to laugh at it. If you don't, it just gets to you. But I was doing really well, and I was on track in January and the first part of February to make it to 60,000 by April 11th, which was my birthday. And it was moving right along. I was getting 200 to 300 new subscribers every day. And so I was really pushing for that, and I said it in a few videos, and I think YouTube overheard me, because then things started tanking. And I mean, it went down to the point starting March 17th, things got really bad because they were demonetizing like 8 out of 10 of my videos. And they were, I was losing subscribers just right and left. And see, part of the thing is the algorithm that does the whole, putting videos in the suggested and recommended videos. By the way, this is an uncut version. I am not going to edit this, so I hope I don't mess up too bad. The brain goes kind of crazy, especially now that it's late at night. So anyway, but yeah, they, see, brain goes. And so anyway, the algorithm that works on putting things in the suggested videos, which are those videos like below, or if you're looking on a browser next to the video that you're watching, that has to do with whether a thing is monetized or not. And I know that because I've been watching my data pretty closely when my videos are demonetized, and they get like virtually no play. I mean, hardly anybody sees them. And I also checked like the subscriber to the non-subscriber ratio on them. And I noticed that the ones that were demonetized don't end up getting, very many non-subscribers that see them. Whereas the percentage usually was about 60 to 70% of my views were from non-subscribers. And then the other percent was from subscribers, which, I dearly love my subscribers, but I can't grow, unless I get new people to see my videos. And I like to get my videos out there so people can see them, because a lot of the things I'm covering are, it's information that American people need to know, but you're not going to hear in the mainstream media. So, I try to put it out there so people can see it. And if you're not getting it recommended, people aren't seeing it. And while I appreciate every view that you guys have given me, I mean, you're wonderful. You really are. You don't know how much you've changed my life. You've given me a chance to do a lot of things that, well, frankly, I just wasn't able to do because of my health issues. So it kind of opened up a few venues. What other job can you have that you can, work for about an hour or two and then you can take a nap, and then you work for an hour or two and then you take a nap. So it's worked out for me. And it does provide, just a little bit extra that I need to make the ends meet. So I really appreciate every view that I get. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the thumbs up. You know, it all is so nice. And I have met some of the nicest people through this channel. So I really appreciate being able to do that. But it just is one of those things that if I've learned through the trial and error, you know, and keeping track of the statistics, that evidently this whole demonetization thing and the views and all of this is all connected together. So when they don't monetize a video, then I end up, it's like very few people really get to see it, relatively speaking. Okay? Because there for a while, I had videos that were getting 20 to 30 to 40,000 views, and that was not unusual. I mean, like, pretty much most of the videos I was putting out were getting at least 10,000. But now, you know, when they did that demonetization thing, it was almost like if I got a 2,000 in a day, I was really happy, because really it was getting that serious. And then, you know, when that started, then I started losing the subscribers, and it almost got to be funny because I would gain like 10 subscribers and then I would lose 12. And so every morning I woke up and I had less subscribers than I had the night before when I went to bed. And when I posted a video, all of a sudden I had a lot less subscribers. And it just was getting a little frustrating for me. But, you know, I know this is part of the battle because we are in a type of war. It's a cyber war. And they're fighting so much to stifle, you know, conservative voices, and especially anything that they can write off as a conspiracy theory. Well, you know, I try not to deal in conspiracy theories when I'm doing my videos for this, because I want to give you truth. And that's why I go and I get the actual documents, I get the letters, I get, you know, things that are being passed around in the documents themselves, and I work from those instead of just off a hearsay or whatever. Usually that's what I try to do. But, you know, it was getting a little frustrating there for a while, and the numbers just kept going down. I lost like 300-400 people, you know, between the middle of March and the middle of April. And so then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened, but the monetization started coming back. I mean, they would monetize the videos, but it'd be after the first couple days when I had all my views. So, you know, that was a little frustrating that I was doing that, but it eventually turned around. And this is something, though, that I think we all need to be very aware of, because, yes, this is a war going on. And people like me have been put in the front lines, and I really wasn't expecting it, but yet in some way I knew it was going to happen. And that's kind of what I want to deal with tonight, because I was on Twitter earlier, and, you know, this is one of the places I like to go to find different articles and things that people point out. And some Twitter threads are really good to read. This was an interesting little video that was done by Jack Posobiec. And I'm not totally a Jack fan, because he seems to not like this certain letter of the alphabet, and he thinks he has a source that told him that this certain letter of the alphabet is not real and, you know, not a valid source, and it's just not true. So, I mean, he thinks he has documentation. I've read the documentation. It's bogus. Okay? It really is. So anyway, I'm not going to force anybody to believe in that certain letter, but, you know, I think Jack is misguided on that particular thing. So I don't know where he stands, but sometimes he comes up with some good stuff. So I keep an eye on him every once in a while. Well, this came up in my Twitter feed, and, you know, he was talking about this particular account, AOC Press. Oh, this was a parody account. It was so funny. I mean, it really was. You could almost not tell that it was not her. So anyway, it was a really good parody account. Well, this was run by a good friend of his, and it got suspended. And not just that account, but it suspended the guy's personal account that he didn't connect to the AOC Press at all. So it was really weird. And the parody account said that it was a parody account. You know, like over here when it has your name up here that you can put in. Well, it said parody there. And then in the bio, when you click on the person's name, it gives a little bio underneath. Yeah, it had parody in there too. So it's not like you couldn't see that it was parody. And it was so funny. I mean, he did such a good job. But anyway, they were talking about this, and his friend called in, and they, were discussing what had happened. And so I thought it was very interesting. As always, I'm going to put these links down below so you can see them for yourself. And when I saw this, at the very end, he says something, it's basically, well, let me just go find it for you. All right. This is my website. In case you haven't realized that, I have a website now. Well, I had a website. I have a website, thereadthewriter.com. But this is specifically the Truthification Chronicles because I felt I needed one for, to go along with this this thing, the YouTube channel. It's getting late here, folks. But anyway, I now have a couple entries in the blog. Yay! I still have not figured out how to transfer the things over from my WordPress blog. And I don't know that I ever will be able to figure that out. I downloaded the information from my WordPress blog. It's just getting it uploaded here. That's going to take maybe a little more than my pay grade at this point. Anyway, so this is what he had to say. Did you ever think censorship would become this much of an issue in America? Did it ever even enter into your mind a couple of years ago? And, I thought about that. Although I've been aware of it for a few years, that this censorship was coming in. I saw it happening. I experienced it during the 2008 campaign. I taught at a school that was predominantly Democrats. And it got to the point when I went down for lunch with the rest of the teachers, I just gave up even going down there because it was a very unpleasant experience. You could not talk about anything. And if you, heaven forbid, asked them why they were supporting Obama, oh my goodness, you got attacked. So, yeah, it was not a pleasant experience. The superintendent was sending out emails telling you all these Democrats you should be supporting. Which I don't think was legal for him to do, but he was doing it. And so it was not a good experience there. And, that was an unpleasant time because of everything that was going on. So anyway, and then when Obama won, it was just like, oh man. And I think there were probably 3 of us that were conservatives at that school. But anyway, so I've been experiencing it for a long time, to some degree, but just what's happened since Trump has been elected and right before he was elected, the censorship has just increased tremendously. And I think those of us who are on the front line, we see it, we feel it, we know it's happening, and you're just kind of wondering when it's going to happen to you. I mean, I know a lot of conservatives that have had their YouTube channels totally demonetized. So, I'm not saying that it couldn't happen. It's just, it could happen to me. And if it does, now I have a website. You can check me out here, and I will at least have a blog that you can go to and you can see, I can keep you informed. And so that would be one thing. Plus, I have a couple of channels that you could also subscribe to that have nothing to do with politics. One is Garden Devotions, and then the other one is Read the Writer. Yeah, read, as in R-E-A-D, the writer. And so those are writerly topics, or at least it's going to be. I only have a couple videos up there yet at this point. But, so, I do have some backup things. But I wanted to have this website that I could rely on. And the name Truthification Chronicles, for those who don't know, is the name of my book series. And eventually it's going to have 8 books in it. But right now I've got 5 that are pretty much draft form, But I'm working on getting them done. And so eventually, soon, I had hoped to get the first one out in April, and it just didn't happen. The lady who's doing my editing for me ended up having to move cross country with kids and horses and everything. And yeah, so I'm still waiting for things to kind of settle there with her, and we're going to get back at it. So it'll be out soon. I really want to get that out, and I'd like to get the second book out too before the end of the year, but we'll see how it goes. But anyway, the name of the series is Truthification Chronicles. So hence the reason I have my website like I do. However, if you follow me on Twitter, by the way, my Twitter is ergo supero. ERGO_SUPERO, which means therefore I survive, because one of the characters in my book series is kind of a conspiracy theorist and named Caleb Madison, and he ends up, his quote is let me try to say it again, it's Latin, cogito ergo supero, and that means I think therefore I survive. So he's very intellectual and he likes to think a lot. So, yeah, anyway, I hope those books will be out soon. I'm working on it. But in the process, I wanted to point out this whole conservative censorship. And it's going on here. I told a little bit about, what my experience was here. And, what's the solution? I don't know. Is it an Internet Bill of Rights? Is that what we need to really push? There was a movement towards that, and then it kind of died out. So I don't know. There have been a lot of hearings, but I'm not seeing much movement to try to fix the situation. And what the real issue is, I realized that Facebook and Google and all of these are private companies. However, they're working in the guise of being publishers. And when they do that, it takes on a different set of rules. And so there's very possible that it will be able to change, because though, if they are defined as publishers, that really does change how they can treat people. And pretty much you should not be put off of their sites or censored unless you've done something illegal. So, it could change things quite a bit, because there's been more of a tightening down on the rules. And, YouTube has these rules that say you can't do certain things, like talk about events, sensitive events that are happening, and suggest that anything but the official narrative is the truth. And I had a video taken down because of that. I'm trying to figure out a way to put it on my website, but it was too big it wouldn't let me upload it, even though I should have enough room for it, on the server. But I don't know. A lot of things I'm still working out. I have done websites, but it's been a long time since I've really worked on websites. But anyway, so I wanted to point this out to you, and there is the link to that if you want it. It's under, blog, which, how fun. And I do have a second one down here where the Democrats are going to sue till it's blue. That was Scott Walker wrote an op-ed on that. So anyway, on there, and I'm trying also to put my top videos and my newest videos and on there. So this is an article off of Blacklisted News, and this is something that I think we need to be concerned about too, because when we're talking about the whole censorship, Instagram to fact check and remove memes. Now, if you know, Facebook is who owns this, Instagram. Now, I'm not on Instagram at this point. I don't know if I'm going to go over there. It just doesn't seem to be my thing. But, I am on Facebook, but I have not been able to be there much. So, like once a week, I get in there and check things. Anyway, look at it. This social media giant, Instagram, will use its 52 global fact-checking partners to censor false photos and memes on its platform. Instagram is taking those fact checks and applying them to the same false photos and memes on its platform. And so, it's going to be censored just like Facebook. Memes deemed factually incorrect will no longer appear under tabs where they can be discovered by random users. So, they have no sense of humor. The left, They just don't have a sense of humor. And, oh, look, they even include who down there. But anyway, they just can't understand that they are satirical or parodies and things. It's just they don't want to put them on there. So again, I'll put this link down below so you can read about it. And if that's not enough censorship, we've got this going on. This is a Breitbart article, and they have this thing called Click Gap. Is Facebook's latest tool to favor establishment media. So Facebook has received a lot of attention for overt censorship last week. If you don't know, they kicked off a bunch of big name conservatives. But the social network is engaging in covert suppression of independent media too. Most recently with its introduction of ClickGap, a way of favoring established websites and suppressing non-established ones. So in other words, my website back here, yeah, they're going to be suppressing that probably if I post things. So why? Because they'll penalize websites that have an established, quote, authority outside Facebook, where authority is measured by the number of clicks they receive from sources outside the platform, such as mainstream media sources. And here she talks about it. And here's a quote from her. ClickGap looks for domains with a disproportionate number of outbound Facebook clicks compared to their place in the web graph. This can be a sign that the domain is succeeding on newsfeed in a way that doesn't reflect the authority they've built outside it and is producing low-quality content. In other words, not low-quality content. It's content they disagree with. Just why aren't they honest about it? So anyway, this is the article on that, and it really is kind of scary how they're ramping things up, but it's not unexpected because they are desperate and they can't not win 2020. And the only way they're going to win is if they cheat, and they cheat by using Facebook and, Google and YouTube and everything and Twitter and censor them. They censor the conservative ideas. So this is really happening, and we need to be aware of it, and we need to be, we need to notice what they're doing. Pay attention to the Dems, because like this article right here, this was an opinion by Scott Walker on Fox News. And, basically what he's saying is they're going to keep suing and causing problems until they get the redistricting that they want so that they can win. And, even when they're just suing, they're getting press. And that can sway a lot of people because it gives them a reason to be on the news, so they get their FaceTime and people can hear what they have to say. So it's something for us to be aware of. I don't know what the solution is. I wish I did. I don't know if we need the Internet Bill of Rights. I don't know if we need Congress to step in. I'm not sure what we have to do, but our media is the enemy of the people right now because they're weaponized against us. And this is something that has been going on for a long time. In fact, if you've seen my video on David Brock and Media Matters and that document they put out, they had a plan of attack, and they were going to use social media against us. And that's what they've been doing. They are using it against anybody who supports Trump in any way. And they've tried to destroy lives. They've tried to destroy Nunes and Jordan. Look what they did to Jordan. Oh my goodness. That all was so crazy. So they've been doing all this different stuff to try to take these people down just because they support Trump. So be aware of what they're doing. Keep your eye out. It's important for us to know that. Let's go back and look. No, it's still 994. Okay, well, I'm going to give up for the night. And probably when I wake up tomorrow morning, it'll be less than that. So that's just the way it always works. But I don't know. Maybe tomorrow I'll hit 50,000. And if I do, I wish you were there with me. Like I said, I wish I could do like, a live stream so we could all enjoy the moment together. But normally to enjoy that moment, you would have to have this little number keep changing and going upwards. It's just not doing that tonight. This is how it works. But, oh well. As the French say, c'est la vie. So, or c'est la guerre, whichever it is. That's war. So, yeah, that's what I've got for you. I'll put the links down below, like always. And somebody mentioned that it may not be an arrow that you're looking for to get the description to open up. It may be a little triangle, and it's very small. So look around. I don't know where they hide it on your device, but it'll be there. There'll be something there that you can do that. And also don't forget about the speed thing, because you can always speed up videos. I don't take offense when you do that to me, because I know everybody's time is precious. And so if you got to put me double time or something like that, more power to you. I don't care. So just do whatever you got to do to get the information, because there's so much coming out now. And anyway, so I want to thank you for stopping by. I hope I didn't sound whiny to you. But I did want to inform you and let you know what was going on and give you a little bit of information on the censorship thing, because I think it's affecting all of us, and it is going to play a role in the 2020 campaign. So thanks. Thanks for everything. I appreciate everything that you've done for me. You don't know how you've changed my life. Really, seriously. So I'll see y'all later.